All right, we are back. We've got the mojo, we've got the juice. Really excited to be here. Thankfully, we've got I shouldn't say thankfully. Maybe I should because of the injuries mounting up, but we do have a bye week coming
I
up
think
this
we
next
can be
week.
thankful for this bye.
Let's be thankful for the bye. We are post
Momentum
Purdue
wise, this is a
victory.
good bye.
Right. We are post Purdue victory, feeling great about it. We'll break down the game. We'll talk about some of the questionable passing metrics and some of the amazing running we've seen really all year. This time is a bit one-sided because we got only one running back doing it. And we will also talk about, even though we got a bye week coming up, we'll talk about some of the injuries or recoveries we can make through the bye week. We'll touch a little bit on Northwestern. We're going to do more of that probably next week because we'll have another episode coming up after the bye week talking about the upcoming game. We'll probably hit a couple things as we got Northwestern, Maryland, Ohio State, all back to back to back. Very exciting November for us, but let's get into it. Let's talk about the Purdue game. Guys, I'm going to be honest, a little bit, disappointed, but obviously victory. We won 21-16, very happy. We're now 7-2. Purdue is now the opposite, I think, 2-7. I was expecting a little bit more of a gap there. All of our predictions had us about somewhere in the 30s range for Michigan points and somewhere in like the 7 to 10 range for Purdue points. So we were all wrong. Granted, a lot of injuries actually put into ChatGPT the first summer of the year. I'm very excited about how it kind of pushed things out for us here. Let me read a quick summary of the game and then, of course, an injury report and personnel update. So to summarize, game against Purdue, we won 21-16, improving 7-2 overall, 5-1 in the Big Ten. Huge performance from Jordan Marshall, rushed for 185 yards, 3 touchdowns, which is amazing given that he's our number 2 running back, essentially after Justice Haynes. There's commentary here. It says, offensively and stylistically, the game exposed some not great things. Michigan described the win as sloppy, with the quarterback and passing game under pressure. However, defensively, the team held firm in key moments, but we still did allow Purdue to stay in the game deeper than expected. So that was kind of the summary real quick from ChatGPT. Some huge injury reports this week. Justice Haynes is out for the foreseeable future with a foot injury. And I believe he already has undergone surgery this past weekend. Timetable TBD. Everyone's kind of holding their breath on the return to the Ohio State game, for the Ohio State game Thanksgiving week. Safety Rod Moore still out. Now linebackers Cole Sullivan, Jimmy Rolder, Jayshawn Barham, all were out for that game, at least parts of it. Jayshawn started the game, he had to leave. So questionable when they're going to return. O-line, Evan Link was out. And then tight end Hogan Hansen also out. So we are getting affected on every single level of the ball. Want to hear your guys' thoughts. Give me your summary. Give me your takeaway. What's top of mind for you? Chris, you start against Purdue.
Wow, he just threw a loud on me. I came in hot.
It's a hot summary.
It's
the juice.
hot.
You asked if I had the juice.
Jesus,
I got the juice.
That was some freaking grapefruit juice, tangy. So I think Sharon Moore said it best at the end of the game. He said, "There's a lot of things that we need to clean up. I'm frustrated, but it's a good thing to have won the game and to still be frustrated." I think that just showed that any given Saturday, a Big Ten team can bring it because they've been playing each other for so long. They can play maybe up and others can play down to the level of talent. You never know what performance you're going to get from a bunch of kids. I believe that we deliberately didn't pass it as much as we've been hoping for. But the reasoning behind that is that, again, our running attack has been dominant. And I believe that the opposing defense, I think that these holes are so open for our running backs because the opposing defenses have to prepare mentally that at any given point, Bryce Underwood can run it or pass it. So that gives us an advantage right there. So just having him on the field, not even throwing the ball, not running him, it's taking some focus out of just focusing on getting Jordan Marshall down in the backfield. So that's a huge advantage to us. I'm confident if we had Davis Warren, any Alex Orji, we would have lost that game last weekend. Overall, wasn't our best game, obviously. I was very proud of the way Jordan Marshall stepped up. I'm concerned about Haynes, but I know that we have Marshall is very eager to help. He kind of reminds me of Blake Corum in his mentality. Well, he'll just do whatever's needed to be done. And now we have this week to heal up, which is long overdue. This is the most injuries I can remember Michigan football having, combined with having the youngest team we've had in a long time. It's a pretty impressive accomplishment to be 7-2 at this point in the season. So I hope it continues in a forward direction for us.
Agreed. Kyle, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of your guys' sentiments. The young offensive line performed really well in the run game. That was kind of the highlight, I think, of the week. The O-line and Jordan Marshall. Bryce looked like a freshman. It was good. He ran well, but his throws were off target. And once his throws were off target, I think we decided, okay, we don't need to throw it so much this game. We'll just stick to the ground and pound. He had that unfortunate Bryce had that unfortunate interception down in the red zone where he had McCulley wide open. Just need to look for the right guy. And then the fumble out of the back of the end zone. That's just, I don't know, bad luck. Yeah.
Bad luck. Interesting way to frame that. I agree with the he looked like a freshman sentiment. I agree also that the defense has to think there's a whole nother dimension to the game because you've got to consider him and his running. He ran for 44 yards, for example, in this game. On one of those runs, he lost that fumble in the red zone through the red zone through the end zone. But yeah, I mean, it's a couple of those things, and we talked about this during the game. We were like chatting back and forth. Like some of that is Bryce being a freshman, but some of that is coaching. Like it really is, like McCulley being wide open. Like part of what I would like Bryce to do is work through those progressions. Like I think sometimes he gets focused. He gets super focused, and you can tell like with his throws, he like lasers in. And I think the same way he lasers with his throws, he lasers with his mind. Like he kind of has his mind set up. You run a play. I think Chip Lindsey, I think Sharon are trying to make things simple for him. So they run a play, they do a screen, they do some sort of RPO where they make it very clear like who's the option. And if the option isn't there, the alternative is to go for a run or throw the ball away instead of look through your progressions. And I think that's going to have to be his maturity, but it's also a coaching thing. Like you look at a great example of not having the right coaching in place is our special teams. We've talked about this multiple weeks in a row. Another SHITTY performance in our special teams.
It was not good. I think we got to move on from our special teams coach. And as you guys have mentioned, we need to make Jay Harbaugh the highest paid special teams coach in the country.
We do.
Bring back Jay.
Yeah, and
in the universe.
Who was that? Kyle, you brought up, was it McCulley in the end zone on that pick?
Wide open.
Yeah, he tried throwing to Marsh. Marsh had like 3 men on him, and McCulley was standing like no one within 10, 15 yards of him. So I think that it's like he's not even thinking about that. You've got an O-line head coach who's a sophomore head coach. You've got a very defensive-minded team. You've got no special teams coordination. Like I think we're just lacking that. Like if Bryce had the mentorship that JJ had from Harbaugh, this would be a very different performance. Like he went 13-22, 145 yards in the air, received a D+ grade technically from PFF and Mason Brew. Like he's not playing very well. Like he's keeping us in the game. He's being a general, but one of the main positive points that Sharon had of Bryce the whole year was that he's not turning over the ball. Guess what? Against a 2-6 team, turned it over twice. So
in the red zone,
it's not
right?
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the red zone.
Oh, the red zone turnovers are gut wrenching. And to Sharon Moore's credit, he kept us composed and didn't let us unravel. But we could have won that game by a much wider margin had we not turned it over. We just, I don't know. We got to clean that stuff up. Like Sharon said, frustrating. We won. Shout out to Purdue though. They played a really good, disciplined, clean football game. Really good coaching. They did everything they could to beat a superior team, and it was just short. So kudos to Purdue. Hopefully that gets us prepared for these 2 next trap games before Ohio State. Because we got to get mentally sharp for Ohio State. I just we got to get there. We're not there yet.
Yeah, we're definitely not there yet. Also, like we talked about Justice Haynes being out, number 1 RB, super concerned about that. Obviously, it's gonna be a huge difference if he does not come back for Ohio State. I will say I like what I saw out of that freshman, Casper. I'm forgetting his last name, but I really like. He was smooth, man. We got Air Marshall back there, and with this, friendly ghost, he was getting 4 or 5 yards a carry. Obviously, our O-line was doing a lot of that work, but he was slick. Like I'm gonna put this. I don't know if I got a new category. Maybe I should make a new category for our show. But like, he's a dark horse for me because I think we're sitting here, we're sobbing, we're super like, oh man, Justice Haynes, our number 1 guy. I would not be shocked if Casper pulls out and ends up being an amazing RB2 for us. Not just in that game, the next few weeks. I had a great juju watching him play.
The vibes were high on him, huh?
It could be the case. I mean, Tony Alford's I think he's one of the best running back coaches in the country. We're lucky to have him.
Yeah.
I also like Tonielli. Tonielli's kind of been stepping into his role well.
Yeah, with the
injuries
with
at
the
tight
large
end.
amount of tight end injuries. Yeah, Tonielli's stepped up. He's a good receiving tight end.
And remind me, there was one play that Bredesen just did the most Bredesen play, and Kyle was so happy. He said that he was going to marry him. Bredesen just goes out there and does a perfect job at what he's supposed to do. So
he just blocks. He's such a great. He understands football at a level that only like people, Jim Harbaugh, Max Bredesen, like Tom Brady. He's at that. He just understands the game. He's like, I know I have to block exactly like this for the play to develop like this. He's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yes. Yeah, I'll say, we talked about coming into this game. You remember the last podcast, expecting or hoping for some more tight end play. I'll say we didn't get as much as I expected. I don't know what's going on with Marlon Klein. Maybe it's like a relationship thing. I think it feels to me like a personal thing because Klein was an amazing number 2 last year. So I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. But he's not getting the production, but we're getting those other guys stepping up. The other Marshall, for example, Zach Marshall, couple big plays. We are getting tight end play when we need it. I'm just surprised that a freshman quarterback's not getting more plays to his tight end. Like for me, that's a safety net. You see it even in the NFL with rookie or even sophomore QBs, where you can really turn to your tight end as this, very comforting, no one else was open last progression, or even top option for a lot of these plays. So I'm a little bit surprised. I also have this strange intuition, this strange feeling that it's one of those things where we're not fully opening up the playbook, because we know, and just like Ohio State does for us, whatever you got on film is going to be studied. So I also have a strong feeling that there are some of these tight end plays, these rollouts, picks, whatever it is, or we kind of sneak them out. We're just not doing yet, but I feel like we're going to do, because that's a huge part of this offense that we are not using. So something's off.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of potential that we're kind of saving. I hope that we are saving it, and not that we're just like reducing the playbook because we don't have confidence.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, good point. not to mention tight ends play a big part in the blocking portion of the pass game and run game. So Bryce has had a trial by fire this year, to say the least, and luckily he keeps winning for the most part. He made a couple errors, but like we said, he's learning, he's getting better. He played like a freshman this weekend, but playing like a freshman as Bryce Underwood is better than playing as a freshman as most every other freshman quarterback out there. So
yeah,
I think it was a deliberate decision by the offensive staff. Once they saw he wasn't hitting the ball, hitting his targets, they were just like, oh, all right, let's just run it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, no, those are all really good points. And I'd say, like, on the one hand, Bryce is getting help and he isn't, right? So where he's getting help is from his top one or two wide receivers. I love Marsh, I love McCauley. You see Bryce just missing those throws on the long balls out to the end zone, or where he's kind of airing it out. You see him just missing. And then on some of the crossing routes, or some of the, I wouldn't call them slants or screens because he's really good at those, but on some of like the mid tier, so like 10 to 20 yard passes, he's throwing it right behind the receivers. Marsh is great grabbing those in. McCauley's great at grabbing those. One person who is not great at grabbing those is our least favorite player, Samaj Morgan, who again had a couple of drops in the game.
I think he only had one target, one drop. But he was awful on special teams. Really bad on special teams.
Got to get out of there. What are we doing on special teams? If he catches the ball, he's either running backwards or sideways, and he gets tackled within 5 seconds. If he's calling a fair catch, it's within 5 yards of the end zone, and it makes no sense.
All right, and the balls he says, "Oh, don't touch them." Like, it's like, come on, man, you gotta field that.
Just complete lapse in judgment. He demonstrates
like,
weakness.
It's almost remarkable. Like he rarely gets the correct. He rarely gets the correct call. Like what you're supposed to do.
God bless him.
God bless him.
God bless him. Yeah, it's really really tough to watch. So, anyways, listen, I'm gonna go ahead. I think we've got a new segment. I'm gonna call Casper. If someone can get me his last name, I'm calling him the second RB. He's my dark horse coming up. I think the next few weeks. I like rarely named, but I think he's gonna come out clutch for us, especially with Justice Haynes being out. Let's go through dude of the week. Kyle, give us your dude against Purdue. Who was he?
My dude of the week was Jordan Marshall. He had a great game. He just was nice. 185 yards, 25 carries, 3 touchdowns. And there was that one touchdown where he looked like he was getting tackled at the line of scrimmage, and he just powered through 5 guys and squirted into the end zone, and that was just like, oh my God, yes.
Oh, it's so primal. I love that stuff.
That's Jordan Marshall, dude of the week. Behind a very good offensive line, I got to give them their props. Some of those holes he was asked to hit, it was basically just run fast. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. We'll see. It's so strange to me because by the way, great pick. But just some of these games, the O-line does really well. And I wonder, is that because we've got a strong O-line, or is that because we're playing a 2-6 team? I still have not figured that one out. But, you only really tell your greatness when you play great teams. So we'll have to see. But there were some good holes there, and he went through. You're totally right.
I think we're good at run blocking. I think maybe we're a little less good at pass blocking. We just the natural abilities and size of our offensive linemen dictate what they can do and what they can't do.
It's true. And their spirit, right? Their belief system. Chris,
that's the most important.
That's the most important. Chris, I want to hear from you. There are some really interesting games coming up this week. I was excited last week because I thought there were some potential upsets, some top-ranked teams. Didn't get the amount of upsets we were really looking for. Didn't get that huge change in the rankings actually coming in. I think there was no change for us this week, so I think we're still ranked 21.
Stay steady.
Week on our pick'em, there's an 8-9 matchup, BYU Texas Tech, which I think will be really interesting. There's also a number 3 A&M against Missouri, which, of course, Missouri ranked number 19, A&M number 3. So if Missouri loses, obviously we're moving forward. You got a big Oregon game. I think they're going to crush Iowa personally. And then you got
that one's in Iowa though, isn't it?
I think it is. You think there's
So-
a potential upset?
Well, Kinnick at night is always a spooky place. It's a 3:30 game, but given the time of year, it might be a night. Just the angle of the sun, it could be a night game at 4:30 in Iowa.
Wow.
Spooky stuff happens.
Okay, so maybe we'll change the segment. We'll keep a Freaknasty segment for Chris. We'll call it the Bredesen special from Kyle. He gets to pick one game too that he loves just because he loves Bredesen. Lastly, before I hand it off to Chris, another very interesting game. I think obviously Nebraska just lost their QB to injury, but Nebraska UCLA 6-3 Nebraska against a 3-5 UCLA. We're liking UCLA this year, so I find that pretty interesting. Chris, you have an interesting Freaknasty for us this week, don't you?
Well, let's get a little round of applause for my first correct Freaknasty pick. NC State upsetting Georgia Tech.
Over Georgia Tech. Yep, that was one of the only
Amazing.
one of the only upsets of the weekend. Georgia Tech no longer undefeated.
Hell yeah.
Got real nasty last week.
It got nasty, and this time it's time to be freaky. So Auburn traveling to Vanderbilt. I believe Auburn upsets Vanderbilt on the road, and it begins the downward spiral for Vanderbilt back to the bottom cellar of college football. So that's Auburn. There's a lot of exciting matchups this week, though. Like you mentioned, the Texas Tech BYU game will be huge for the Big 12. The winner of that might be the representative in the college football playoff. And I like Indiana at Penn State for some reason. I feel like Penn State's not done yet with their effort this year. And they still have a really good team, very poorly coached the last few weeks, but might be one to watch this weekend, boys. Might be a fun little upset brewing over there.
You're anticipating Penn State putting up a fight against Indiana.
Yes. I don't think they'll win, but I think it'll be Indiana's biggest test of the year thus far. So that's what I got on my end. Yeah,
that's a good point. I mean, Penn State they still have that same roster. They came into the season, what was it, ranked number 2 or number 3, I think, in the country. So they've got the same dude. They just got to figure out their coach.
They're winless in the Big Ten. I don't take them seriously. I think they're bad.
They are pretty bad.
I guess we'll find out, man.
LSU at Alabama could have a little bit of juice to it, but they don't have a coach right now, or at least I don't know who the interim is. So there's just nothing there. That
sometimes not having that coach. Sometimes not having that coach, right? What the UCLA game, that was a great example.
Well, that's what you're anticipating with Auburn over Vandy. They fired Brother Hugh Freeze this week.
Wow,
Brother Hugh Freeze.
That is right.
Fraternity brother.
They fired Hugh Freeze.
No, he's my pastor.
He's a real straight shooter, that Hugh Freeze, guys. In Texas A&M at Missouri, as you mentioned, should be some good ball outside of the Michigan bye week this week.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think Virginia Tech almost pulled one out last week. I've got a thing where there's some teams for me that don't show up in big games. Virginia is another great example. They're ranked 12. I just feel like they lose those games.
Whoa, 12?
Wake Forest hasn't looked great in a lot of games. Yeah, they're 12, dude.
Good
so they're
Lord.
high.
Yeah.
There's a chance for, in my mind, Virginia goes down, who's number 12. Missouri goes down, playing A&M. I think there's one or two other potential losses. I think if Texas Tech BYU goes out, they're still going to be ranked top 20. But I think Michigan has a chance with some of these ranked teams, if they go down, to be probably 15 or 16 next week coming out of the bye. So then it's just kind of a matter of time.
What week did the college football playoff rankings come out?
I didn't have anything. I was just saying maybe.
What week do the rankings come out for the college football playoff? I was going to say,
that's today. It's Tuesday.
Really?
It'll come out today. This week is the first week. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was tonight. Okay, that's big.
I believe so. You guys can double check me, but I believe the first list is tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, really exciting. It's first ranking in the Season of Chaos. That's coming out today. Yep.
Okay,
Confirmed.
so that after that,
so
that's
that'll
the
be
only
really
one we
exciting.
need to care about.
And obviously, we'll talk next week a bit more about the Northwestern game coming into it. Let's think about today for this previous game, Purdue, for the Freaknasty around college football. I want to get top of mind thoughts. Let's go around. Kyle, anything with the coaching carousel, anything with Michigan football in general, injuries, backups coming up to play, thoughts against a couple of our trap games coming up, Northwestern Maryland before we face Ohio State. What is coming up for you when it comes to college football?
I think our linebackers. We've got a lot of linebacker injuries with Rolder out, Sullivan out, Barham out now. It was down to just Hausman, and I want to give props to the young players that stepped up: Chase Taylor, Troy Bowles, Nathaniel Oujo Boega. I didn't spell that right, but yeah, they stepped up. The defense, it looks good on some plays and bad on others, and I hope it tightens up once we get our injuries back. It's just we hope it looks good.
Yeah, we hope it looks good. Agreed. I've got my own take on that. I'll give you my top of mind after Chris goes. Chris, what do you got for us? Just anything Michigan, college football wide, think about the next couple weeks, Purdue game. What do you got for us?
Yeah. Signetti and Rule both got some mega extensions. I believe in an effort to play some defense around the available coaching.
I'm getting some Wi-Fi issues from Chris. Kyle, can you hear him?
No, I'm also having some issues hearing Chris.
Yeah, Chris, we're getting a lackadaisical Wi-Fi connection from you. Can you try and speak? We'll try to hear you.
He's even worse now. He's even worse. I think he said something about Kurt Signetti's might get an extension. That seems to be probably, yeah.
Signetti already got his extension, I thought, didn't he? He signed the extension with Indiana.
Yeah, he might get another. He's a hot commodity right now.
I didn't think he was that hot. That's pretty intense. I think he's already through 2030 or 2032. So anyways, good for him. That'd be awesome. Chris has dropped, so he'll rejoin. I guess I'll give my top of mind thoughts. I think my top of mind before we get back to Chris, who rejoined, is I'm piggybacking a little bit off what Kyle was saying. I think for me, it's the stylistically, I'm concerned about how Michigan is playing. I understand we're smash mouth or running a team. I get it. It's so hard to watch sometimes. And it also leads sometimes to overuse of running backs. Even if you've got two, we're seeing that with Justice Haynes. I'm not saying this is Sharon's fault. I'm not saying, we should do anything differently. But when you run your guys this much, this is what happens. They get hurt. And I would like to see some alternative plays, some tight end, getting Bryce out and running, throwing the ball a bit more. I just don't love stylistically how we're running our offense. And then defensively, it's very strange. Wink Martindale has been very aggressive, as he always has been the first few games, and then it's switched tremendously the past couple of games. It's not a very Wink offense. It's a very minimalistic blitz offense, and I think partially that's due to the injuries. There's got to be some other stuff going on. Maybe there's some discussion among the coaches to be a little less aggressive. I don't know. But, and then not even mentioning special teams, which has just been a mess. So I think stylistically, I would like to see a reset to our team. And I think the bye week has come just in the nick of time. We're going to heal up some injuries. Hopefully we take some learnings from this 2-6 game, team against Purdue, which I thought we should have honestly blown them out. So I'm hopeful we'll see that. And I think Northwestern and Maryland games will be playing fields, so to speak, for our preparation against Ohio State. So that's top of mind for me, stylistically, seeing some changes. Chris is back. It looks like his Wi-Fi is working. Chris, maybe next podcast we'll get an updated Wi-Fi. For now, give us your top of mind thoughts of what's going on. And he is out again.
We lost him.
We lost him again. We may need to finish up this episode without him. We're gonna miss him. We also have a "Where's Mitez" segment. Mitez gone. Also, so Kyle, maybe we need a bye week, huh? Maybe we need to kind of reset and get back honed in here.
Yeah, I mean, probably just need like a new router. That'd probably do. But a bye's helpful.
Yeah. Maybe you got some injuries we got to recover. So, okay, we're going to call it for today. We'll come back with the Where's Mitez segment next time. We'll hear more from Chris as well. Enjoy the bye week, everyone. Go Blue. Hail to the victors. And we'll chat next week. Go Blue.